Hey, welcome to Davita's Stampin' Spot. It's Thursday and I have another project for you today. Um, as I've been doing the last few weeks, I shared a tip with you on Tuesday, and I realized as I was getting ready that I forgot to share an additional tip on Tuesday, so I'll share it today. So I'm going to switch the camera around so we can get started. All right. So you're going to notice these layers are pretty similar to last week's. I have basic white that's 3 3/4 by 5. Shy Shamrock, oh, I grabbed the wrong thing. It's 3 3/4. 3 3/4 by 5. Wonder where that went. And 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Oh, here it is. Sorry, guys. I even told you wrong. This one's 4 by 5 1/4. So you can see this layers nicely in there, and they both layer right there. All right. We are using the traditional labels again. One of my tips is going to come from this. We're going to actually use two of this larger one for our label today. And I'm using the traditional labels and the Merry Christmas out of there. And I realized I forgot to get those out. I'm also using a piece of painter's tape, like I showed on Tuesday. And you'll notice I'm trying to get quite a bit of the sticky off, because if you have a lot of sticky, it can just be, you can gather just a little too much of the ink. We're going to start with some real red. I am going to put ink on. I will warn you now, you're probably going to get your fingers dirty on this one. All right. I think we're going to go this way. Been trying to show you the same thing, but altering the cards a little bit. All right, so we have enough there. I'm going to make sure we start at the top. You rub it across, bring it down. Now, you could re-ink every time if you want to. I like to go down a little bit with the same one so that it's a little bit varied. Let's see what happens here. If we don't like it, we can always get more ink and go right over the top. Oh, I kind of like that. All right, now we're going to go back and get some ink. And I did rub this across my slacks several times before I started the video. So you do want to get quite a bit of the adhesive off, or you're going to have really dark, you're going to have like this all the time. All right. So now what I like to do is, okay, I've still got a little bit on here. I'm going to go back up and add a little ink there because I don't want a lot of white. All right. Then, of course, this is going to go in the trash. Yep, look at my hands. But I always tell people if your hands don't have ink on them, it doesn't look like you were creating. So you like to have that ink. Using my chamois, I do need to grab my chamois that actually goes with my glass mat. I always forget to do that before I start my recording. I always have my purple chamois here, and so I just use those. All right, that's my background. Now here's my other tip. So these two are exactly the same size, which means you can't use them as labels. Well, you could kind of angle it, I guess, like that. But I realized they designed this die with this outer edge to be able to almost be cut off just by die cutting it. So if I just go into the corners here and cut off the outside edge, see, it's almost all cut for me. And there's two options. So you can see I'm fighting with this just a little bit. There are two like frames that go around this. And I just want to do the outside one here first and show that. So I'm just having to get the corner here, and then it comes off. Isn't that cool? So if you're really careful and you have a gentle hand, see, you've got a frame that you could just use like that. Isn't that cool? So if that was in a color, if I cut it off this and I put it on white paper, I grab just a solid piece here so you can kind of see this better. But see how that would look cool? Now I can put it on here, and there's a very, very thin layer, but I want more than that. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to cut where it cut. And then I'm actually, there's dots here. I'm just going to cut right along those dots. See how that works? Cut along the dots. I have to tell you, I'm not cutting as nicely as I did with my sample. Thank you, arthritis. It's just getting me today. So now that piece there really got destroyed. But now I can put this here, and I have a nice label or mat behind my label. See that? So now it's going to show up nicely there. So hang on to this. I'll hang on to that. I'll probably use that on another card. But I thought it was really cool that they designed these this way. And I just realized that's cut out of the wrong color. So I'm going to grab, I guess you'll get to watch me cut one here. I thought I had these all cut, but I changed colors after I had it ready to go. All right, so I'll get my layers here. Sorry about that, guys. I even had my die cut machine set up for embossing, so I don't even have the right pieces on here. All right, so we're gonna go with the Shy Shamrock. And I'm doing that because I did red for my tape, painter's tape technique. I will say the die cuts so well, you probably don't want to run it through twice, or it's going to cut that thin layer. And it might, if you're not careful, it might shift just a little bit. And then it's double cutting it and it's not cut straight. So make sure you probably just go through there once. All right, now there we go. That's going to look the right colors instead of that dark green. All right, so I went ahead and I stamped my Merry Christmas ahead of time. So see how nicely that fits on there? I really like that. Okay. And you know what? I think we'll pop that up. Ah, you can see I messed up. See how I did a Mary on the back? And that is why I always stamp before I glue. So many people will get ahead of me here at class, and I get that they're waiting on me, so they think, oh, I can go ahead and glue this down. And then if they make a mistake, they're stuck because they can't flip it over. That's always that. And don't send a naked envelope are probably the things that people so often will say, I know, you told me. All right, so we'll flip this here. I don't know why I spun it around. I just did. All right. So isn't that going to look nice on there like that? Just a nice border. I think I will just glue this one down now. So I hope you've been thinking about joining my team. I live in the Kansas City area. We have so much fun at our team gatherings. Have an amazing group of ladies. We would love to have you join us. And the Stampin' Up! Deal starts October 1st. I will be sharing all the details once we get them. And this video I'm recording early. We've actually been out of town this week. Just got away just for some downtime, but I didn't want you guys to miss out. So I recorded before I left. So it could be you've already seen a post with the deal and you'll know all about it, even though when I'm recording this, I don't know. They keep telling us it's one of the best ones they've offered in a long, long time. So I can't wait to see what it is. And the neat thing is you can be a demonstrator. You can order as a demonstrator, save money on every order. You don't have to do what I do. Most of my team just orders for themselves and they just save money on their crafting supplies. So it's an awesome opportunity and no pressure to do what I do. All right. So ahead of time, I colored some of my rhinestones with real red ink. And again, make sure you use your blends. Don't use your marker. And there we go. So let me show you. Here's one in green, the other direction, and I use the jar punch. So which one do you like? Do you like it in the green? Do you like it in the red? Hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you haven't been frustrated with me this week trying to get a hold of me and I've been out of town. I will be catching up. Hopefully, we got back late yesterday and I'm back home today and back at school. Hope you like this project. Try the masking tape, painter's tape technique. It's a lot of fun. Thanks. We'll see you next week.